This is our daily top 5 gainers and top 5 losers analysis for July 23, 2019, Tuesday. This is in preparation for the next trading day on Wednesday, and I'm going to give you my technical analysis and then I'll show you what I see on my trade and volume distribution and true market sentiment charts. After which, I'm going to give you my overall sentiment together with my recommendations for those who may already have the stocks or for those who are yet to enter a new position on any of these 10 stocks. My name is JC De Guzman, and let's get this started. First is WLCON. WLCON closed today at 16.14. It managed to break out a little bit higher than the midterm support at 15.9. So that's the one which is now acting as its immediate support, 15.9. Actually, it's a support band or support range between 15 to 15.9. Resistance is at 17.4. Foreign investors registered a net foreign buying worth 44.6 million. The 10 SMACD combo is unfortunately not yet present or not yet valid. I think it can only be revalidated once the price of WLCON touches, let's see, the 50 SMA band, which is somewhere near, let's see, 16 point, 16 point, 16.7 to 16.8. So let's see. Let's see. We have to take things one trading day at a time. But how about the risk level of WLCON? It still has a low risk level, and RSI has just took a rebound from the classical oversold level 2 days ago. So it seems that 15.6 or 15.06 seems to be the psychological support of WLCON already. So how about the Fantastic Four signals? Can it compensate? Are they present, or is their presence managed to compensate the absence of the 10 SMACD combo? Well, we have to check to find out. And they are all present. They are all present. By the way, the VWAP of WLCON is at 16 peso per share, and the dominant range is in favor of the buyers, which is between 16.14 to 16.16, 16.14 to 16.16. The true market sentiment chart, let me just minimize this one so you can see things properly. Okay, the true market sentiment for WLCON is bearish. I'm going to post the statistics in our private clients forum for you to find out why it was bearish. Okay, so meaning to say, even though WLCON registered a green candlestick for the second time since it hit the psychological bottom at 15.06 or somewhere near that level, the majority of the top 10 brokers are not yet uh, registering a lot of positive net amount and a higher buying average and selling average. And I can understand why, because it could be because of the volume. The daily volume for the past 2 trading days are significantly lower than the daily volume that was registered during the days when the price was in a descending mode. So WLCON must register a lot bigger volume for us to have more members of the top 10 brokers list to have a positive net amount, and for many of them to possibly register a higher buying average and selling average. Okay, but that doesn't mean that my overall sentiment is already bearish, because my overall sentiment for WLCON is bullish. What does that mean for those who managed to enter a new position near 15 peso per share despite the absence of the 10 SMACD combo, which was compensated by the presence of the Fantastic Four signals last Monday? I suggest that you can do a top up within the dominant range. Now, for those of you who are yet to enter, don't forget the extra process that you have to go through. This is not a suggestion, but a command. You have to calculate your reward to risk ratio first. Okay? Even when you're satisfied with your triple R, that's the time that you should do a test buy within the dominant range. And by the way, I'm going to say this just once in this throughout this video. If and when any of these 10 stocks begin at a price lower or higher than the dominant range that you're going to see, make sure that you post a request in our private clients forum for the latest trade and volume distribution and true market sentiment charts. Okay? So I am bullish on WLCON, and I've given you my advice already. So after WLCON, we have, which one do we have? PHEN. Okay, we have PHEN. PHEN closed today at 2.74. It's nearing its resistance at 2.8. Support is at 2.2. The 10 SMACD combo is valid, and the upward momentum is already very strong. Risk level remains low. RSI is still relatively distant from the classical overbought level. Foreign investors registered net foreign selling worth 2.3 million pesos. I like the confirmed bullish alignment of the three simple moving averages of PHEN, by the way. Now, if it breaks above 2.8, I'm sure you're interested to know what's the psychological resistance will be. So that's going to be 3.6, 3.8 toward 4.0, all of which are in confluence with the 38.2%, 50%, and 61.8% extensions, respectively, of the up Fibonacci. Okay, so let's take a look at the trade and volume distribution chart to find out if the fantastic first signals are present. And with respect to the closing price of PHEN at 2.74, I would say that the dominant range is between 2.72 to 2.75. If PHEN starts at a price lower than 2.72, monitor the price between 2.65 to 2.7. Nonetheless, the dominant range is closer to the intraday high than the intraday low. So the fantastic first signals are present. The true market sentiment of PHEN is neutral. My overall sentiment for PHEN remains bullish. If you have had PHEN, I suggest that you pay close attention once the price touches 2.8. By the time RSI should already be should already be closer to its classical overbought level, and profit taking could or might take control of the game once it touches 2.8. So there you go. Now consider that if you are yet to enter a new position, you know that we have the confirmed buy signals. The 10 SMAC, the combo is valid. The fantastic four signals are present. Those are confirmed buy signals. For those who are yet to enter, you have to consider those things that I have mentioned about the resistance at 2.8, the calculation of your reward to risk ratio, etc. Nonetheless, I am bullish on PHEN. Make sure, by the way, that you always do an upward adjustment on your trailing stop loss every time the price registers a price higher than its prevailing price. So after PHEN, we move to ABA, Bakur. ABA closed today at 1.02, support remains at 0.94, resistance remains at 1.09. The 10 MACD combo is not yet present because the MACD is still trading below the signal line. Well, let's see. Once the price touches probably above 1.06 to 1.07, perhaps a bullish convergence between the signal line and MACD will already appear by that time. But for now, the 10 MACD combo is not yet valid. However, the three simple moving averages are aligned in a perfect bullish position, and the upward momentum remains very strong. Risk level remains low. RSI is about 15 points. Well, it's still relatively distant from the classical overbought level. How about the VWAP? VWAP is at zero. It's at 1 peso per share. Of course, the last price is higher than the VWAP, and that's good. So let's see if the fantastic four signals are present by taking a look at its trade and volume distribution chart. By the looks of it, they are present. The dominant range is between 0.97 to 1.02. It's almost like all of the fluctuations registered on Monday, right? But definitely this is a lot closer to the intraday high than the intraday low. So the F4, the fantastic four signals are present. The true market sentiment chart of ABA, or the true market sentiment chart of ABA is bearish. It's bearish, meaning to say there's some of the members of the top 10 brokers are quite risk averse already, probably because the price is already inching closer to the resistance near 1.10 or 1.09. They knew a few weeks ago that the price did not continue to go up when it hit the ceiling at 1.10. So, at the back of their mind, perhaps they were thinking that history will repeat itself. But we should be fine because we are using a trailing stop loss. And for those who attended the Evergreen Strategy in Trading the Philippine Stock Market, please check your handouts for lesson number 6. I taught you there when you should reduce your percentage of risk in calculating your reward to risk ratio, or no, not reward to risk ratio, but in your trailing stop loss when a weakening momentum is spotted. Okay, refer to that. And for those of you who have not attended this seminar, it's a prerequisite. When you subscribe for 1 year, make sure that you buy your ticket for you to get a 50%. Buy your ticket because you are entitled to 50% discount. This coming Saturday, I'll be in Davao. Okay? So my overall sentiment for Abacor remains bullish. If you have had Abacor and if it's still trading above your trailing stop loss, you can do a test buy, but make sure that you always do an upward adjustment on your TSL every time the price registers a price higher than the prevailing price. Keep an eye at 1.0, keep an eye to 1.10. You don't have ABA and you're planning to enter a new position, well, calculate your triple R first, your reward to risk ratio. If you are satisfied with your triple R, then do a test buy within the dominant range that I've shown you. I am bullish on Abacor. After Abacor, we have IDC. IDC closed today at 6.16. It pierced the previous resistance at 5.8, which is now acting as its current support. The current resistance is now near 7.6. The upward momentum is very strong. Risk level is moderate. RSI, take note, it's already playing inside the classical overbought level. Okay, take note of that. The three SMAs are aligned in a perfect bullish position. Foreign investors registered a net foreign selling worth 1 million. Well, I know that the size of the net foreign bar is towering, but that's an insignificant amount. A net foreign selling worth 1 billion only. How about the 10 SMACD combo? It's present. It's very present. How about the Fantastic Four signals? We will find out. And they are present because the dominant range is between 5.95 towards 5.95 to 6. Yeah, 5.95 to 6. With respect to the closing price, we have to adjust that. It's between 5.95 to 6.16. So this band right here, 5.95 to 6.16, a lot closer to the intraday high than the intraday low. Obviously, the true market sentiment for IDC is bearish, and these are the reasons why. Another reason could be probably because the price is already playing inside the classical overbought level, and those traders who managed to enter at an earlier period, maybe they are already uh, walking in tiptoe or eavesdropping with each other's next move, trying to spot if somebody or someone is trying to sell by a significant degree so that they could sell as well. That's why they're not that confident or that not uh, confident to register a positive net amount or a higher buying average than selling average. That's why they are quite risk averse at this moment. So that's another factor that you have to consider if you are in a position of just about to enter a new position on IDC. You have to consider those things because you don't want to risk entering a new position right now just because you heard those confirmed buy signals only to find out later that the majority are already trying to uh, lock in their profits. So there you go. You've seen in our true market sentiment that they are not bullish anymore. Maybe they are positioning in a wait and see mode since they were able to position at an earlier period at a lot better price. At a better price. Okay. Nonetheless, I am bullish on IDC. Okay. Should you decide to top up or enter a new position strategically and realistically inside the dominant range. Okay, so that's it for IDC. After that stock, we're going to move to ABG. So ABG closed today at the 19 point or 17.92. Resistance is at 19.2. Support is at 11.75. The 10 SMACD combo is still valid. The upward momentum is still very strong. Risk level is extremely high. Take note of that, especially those who are planning just to enter a new position. The risk level, again, is extremely high. RSI is already close. It already touched the classical overbought level last week, and now it's inching closer again to the classical overbought level. So take note of that. Okay. Now the VWAP is at 17.96. So let's check if the fantastic first signals are present on ABG, and they are, because the dominant range of 17.8 to 18.4 is closer to the intraday high than the intraday low. Okay, now the true market sentiment of ABG is neutral. My overall sentiment for ABG remains bullish because of the presence of the 10 SMACD combo in our fantastic first signals. So if you have had ABG since last week, after you know when the 10 SMACD combo after the 10 SMACD combo was validated last week, I suggest that you can still do a test buy within that dominant range. But if you are just about to enter a new position, consider that the last candlestick is already closer to the resistance than the support level. So you have to consider that when you calculate your reward to risk ratio. Nonetheless, based on these things that I have checked, I would say that the uptrend is more likely to continue. Okay, more likely to continue, especially when the true market sentiment gives us a bullish sentiment. Let's see on Wednesday if we will get a bullish true market sentiment. But overall, I'm still bullish on ABG. Okay, so after ABG, we got the top 5 losers already, beginning with PLDT. TEL closed today at 1,148. Support is at 1,100. Resistance, it broke below its previous support at 1,200, and that's its current resistance. And foreign investors registered a net foreign selling worth 113 million pesos. The 10 SMACD combo is no longer present, and the downward momentum is strengthening, although it's not yet very strong. Risk level remains low. This is one example uh, not buying the stock just because it has a low risk level. Okay, RSI is approaching the classical oversold level, by the way. And let's take a look at the TVD chart. Here you can see that the dominant range is closer to the intraday low than the intraday high, which is between 1,148 to 1,153. The true market sentiment for PLDT is bearish. So I am bearish on PLDT. Don't buy it yet. We have to wait for two things to appear: the validation of our 10 SMACD combo and the presence of the fantastic first signals. Okay? So unless and until you see those two things, don't enter a new position. And by now, your trailing stop loss should have already been hit several weeks ago. I am bearish on PLDT. Now, after PLDT, we got PXP. PXP closed today at 8.62. Support is at 6.78. Resistance is at 10.05. The 10 SMACD combo is still present, but not the fantastic first signals anymore. The upward momentum or the positive DMI is a downward sloping already. Risk level is high. Take note of that. Risk level is high, and RSI is in approaching the neutral level. So we're not going to see a trend for on PXP's chart for the meantime. So the dominant range based on the TVD chart, it's quite groggy on this chart. It's quite uh, there's a seemingly balanced or even distribution of the dominant range on the TVD or trade and volume distribution chart of PXP. So with respect to the closing price of 8.62, I would say that the dominant range is between 8.62, 8.7, a lot closer to the intraday low than the intraday high. Should PXP starts up at a price higher than 8.7, watch it trade between 8.75 to 8.9. Nonetheless, this is still in favor of the sellers, and the true market sentiment for PXP is bullish. Although it's still bullish, my overall sentiment for PXP is still bearish. Okay, it has been trading in a sideways pattern in a consolidation since April. And as you already heard me speak about it in my previous videos, I am not attracted to stocks that are trading in a range. I prefer stocks trading in a trend or about to register a trend, poised to register a trend. In the case of PXP, it's more likely to continue slipping inside the consolidation or sideways pattern. So that's why I'm not attracted to it. Plus, I don't invest on stocks that do more harm than good in our environment. So that's a personal disclosure, just so you know where my sentiment uh, is coming from. Okay, I am bearish on PXP. After PXP, we got GSMI. It closed today at 58 peso per share. Support is at 54.8. Resistance is at 63.7. The 10 SMACD combo has already been invalidated, and the positive DMI is downward sloping. Risk level is low. RSI is approaching the neutral territory. Foreign investors registered an insignificant amount of net foreign buying worth 1.4 million pesos. Hmm. The dominant range is between 58 to 59. That's in favor of the sellers. The true market sentiment for GSMI is bearish. My overall sentiment, therefore, for GSMI is also bearish. It's more likely for the price to touch the support at 54.8 again. So buy, don't enter a new position yet if your trading stop, if you have GSMI and your trading stop loss is not hit, I suggest that you hold your position but don't top up yet. I don't see an alarming reason for you to preempt your trading stop loss either. So just hold your position. Now, for those of you who don't have GSMI, then don't buy it yet. Wait for the fantastic four signals to become present. Better yet, wait for the 10 SMACD combo to be revalidated. Okay? After GSMI, we got PPG. So PPG closed today at 6.87. Remember what I said in the previous video about PPG? So here, support is now at 5.96. Resistance is at 7.2, which is in confluence with the 38.2% extension of the up Fibonacci. Although the 10 SMACD combo is still valid, the Fantastic Four signals are obviously not present anymore. RSI is already playing inside the classical overbought level. Foreign investors registered an insignificant amount of net foreign selling, not worthy to be mentioned. Just about 108,000 pesos. Okay, so PPG, let's take a look at the chart. The dominant range is between 6.85 to 7, 6.85 to 7 in favor of the sellers. And the true market sentiment for PPG is bullish. Although it's bullish, I am not that satisfied with the current position. Okay, it is bullish for those who have had PPG 2 weeks ago. So I would say that if you have PPG but your trading stop loss has not been hit yet, then just hold your position. Don't preempt it. There's no alarming reason to preempt your trailing stop loss. But if you are you are just yet to have PPG in your portfolio, postpone that plan, step back a bit, and continue monitoring it for now. the fantastic four signals, which will complete your confirmed buy signals, are not yet around. Okay, wait for the appearance of the F4. So that's my sentiment for those who have had PPG and those for those who are yet to have it, those who are planning to have it. Of course, don't forget to calculate your reward to risk ratio. If you are about to enter a new position and once the fantastic four signals become available. Okay, so after PPG we got APC. This is the last in our video. APC closed today at 0.53, support is at 0.49, resistance is at 0.56. The 10 smack the combo is already invalid. The positive DMI is downward sloping. Risk level is moderate. RSI is approaching the neutral level. So let's see. The dominant range is between 0.52 to 0.50. It's almost like everything is a dominant range on the TVD chart of APC. Really. The true market sentiment for APC is bearish. So this is my recommendation. If you have had APC at a price lower than its prevailing price, or maybe lower than 0.5, I suggest you hold your position. If your trailing stop loss has not been hit yet, of course, hold your position, don't preempt it, don't top up. Okay? Now, if you are just about to enter a new position on APC, this is not the perfect time, or this is not a good time to do that. At least wait for the 10 MACD combo to be revalidated and for the fantastic for signals to appear once again. Okay? So this situation of APC is only good for those who managed to enter at a lower price at an earlier period, but not for those of you who are yet to enter a new position. Okay? So there you go. You've heard my analysis for these 10 stocks. If you have follow-up questions, make sure that you post them inside our private clients forum right here. Okay, now for the Davao-based traders, I'll see you this coming Saturday. I would like to emphasize the need to attend the evergreen strategy in trading the Philippine stock market because it's a prerequisite so that you will understand better what kind of methodology I have in here. Okay, and that's the reason why when you subscribe for 1 year, I have promised that those who subscribe for 1 year will get a 50% discount to this evergreen strategy so that you have no reason not to attend. Okay? All right, so there you go. My name is JC De Guzman. Have a profitable trading day for the rest of the week. Bye for now.